house of hay,
where the market got crushed. I want to take a step back and talk about the big picture. Remember, my ultimate goal in Mad Money is to teach you how to become better at managing your own money, even if you need some help. And tonight we're doubling down on the education side of things. Every week I run a segment called Cramer's Playbook, where I get down to the nitty-gritty of personal finance or the basics of investing. Yesterday's was about investing 101, in particular diversification. And now we're breaking form and doing another playbook segment tonight, because investing 101 is the kind of class that deserves a couple of shows. Honestly, it's the kind of thing I could teach you about an entire semester. The way this works is that I take your questions on Twitter at Jim Cramer with the hashtag #GetAPlan, and then I answer them. Here's a tweet from @Brian_FCA that I think is a good way to kick off the second session of Investing 101. He tweets at Jim Cramer, in 30s, saving 15% a year. Should all that be going into a retirement account or some into brokerage account? Hashtag #GetAPlan. Terrific question. First of all, let's talk about saving in general for a moment. I can't teach you how to invest your money if you don't have any money to invest. That's why it's really crucial that you save and save consistently. Look, I'm not going to tell you all the reasons it makes sense for you to save money. You don't need one more person badgering you about the obvious. One day you're going to need that money, whether it's to buy a house or simply so you can retire on more than just Social Security. Trust me, for most of you, when you hit retirement, Social Security will not be enough. And more important, Social Security can always be changed or taken away by Washington, which makes it inherently unreliable. It was only about a year ago the President and Congress were both willing to change the way Social Security keeps up with inflation. And that's something that would have made a serious de facto cut in benefits for those of you who expect to collect from 20 or 30 years from now. And that's who they target, okay? These changes didn't actually happen because, oh, come on, nobody in Washington can ever agree on anything. But if things ever got more amicable in the Capitol, you should be prepared for them to start tinkering with your Social Security. Look, that is it. That's all the nagging I'm going to do, okay? I mean, honestly, from my perspective, the best reason to save is not that it will ensure you that you won't have to subsist on cat food in your old age, although we had a guy hawking pet food on the show the other day, and I thought this stuff tasted like boar's head or like maybe Thuman's. No, the real reason to save money, a reason that I think may do a better job of motivating many of you, is that for the vast majority of people in this country, you're never going to get rich from your paycheck alone. For everybody who's worried about income inequality or the growing lack of social mobility out there, there's not much you can do to fix our system of late-stage capitalism on your own. But there are still ways you can help yourself. Mainly, you can increase your wealth pretty dramatically by saving part of your paycheck and investing that money in stocks as long as you invest wisely. That's my reasoning. If you don't save or don't save enough, then you're hostage to your paycheck and to your job and your boss. But if you save and invest that money year after year, if you grow your assets, and for those of you in the dark about how to do that, once again, I'm going to suggest you read Get Rich Carefully, which I will indeed be signing at the Costco in East Hanover, New Jersey from noon to 2 this Saturday at Jim Cramer. You can check more. Then eventually you'll have real financial independence. You won't be hostage to anybody, and that makes life a whole lot more enjoyable. Okay, now let's get back to @Brian_FCA's question. How much of your savings should go into retirement accounts like your 401k and your IRA? And how much should go into a regular brokerage account? Brian says he's saving 15% of what he takes home in a year. That's a very good number. Although if you're strapped in cash near term, then you can get away with saving just 10% of your income. My rule of thumb here is invest for retirement first, because a bet against retirement is a bet against your own longevity. For those of you who are still decades away from retirement age, I say you put half to 2/3 of your savings into retirement accounts, like a 401k or a regular IRA. Remember, these are tax-favored vehicles where you don't pay income tax on the money you contribute. You don't pay taxes on your profits within the account. You only pay taxes once. It's taxed as ordinary income when you finally decide to withdraw the money once you're retired. I've told you about how to use these retirement accounts before in this segment. The rest of your savings should go into what I call your discretionary or Mad Money account. That's just a normal brokerage account. I recommend using a cheap online broker with low commissions unless you need help and want to talk it over with someone. There are two reasons why you should have parallel accounts like this. The first is simply that the rise of 401k and IRA plans means that your retirement money gets all sorts of special tax benefits that I want you to take advantage of. You can't take advantage of that with money that you intend to spend before retirement, unless you're using a Roth IRA. But in the case of a Roth, your contributions are taxed going in, and you're allowed to withdraw those contributions early without any penalty, but you still get hit with a penalty for withdrawing your gains early. If you don't feel like you have enough money to justify having two separate accounts, one for retirement, one for discretionary investing, then a Roth IRA is a good way to square that circle. There's the second reason I recommend using two different portfolios, though. You're supposed to take fewer risks with your retirement money. That's true, okay? You can take more risk in your discretionary mad money portfolio. Although when you're young, there's much less difference under the age of 30, and you can take risks with all of your money. I'm blessing that. Because as I tell you all the time, you got your whole life left to make back the losses. Here's the bottom line. Don't think about saving money as the mature, responsible, prudent way to make sure you have a comfortable future. No. Think about savings as the fuel for your investments in the stock market. Investments that, when done correctly, could make you not just comfortable, but downright rich. That's why you should have a retirement portfolio to make sure you've got enough money once you stop working, and you should have a discretionary portfolio where you can take more risk and use your gains to have some fun before you turn 65. Oh, and if you want more, want some terrific financial advice, I got the place to go. Check out yourmoney.cnbc.com. Mad Money's back after the break.